right, so Sony Interactive CEO company says that the company plans to grow the live service segment despite of the Concord failure. And we all know what's going on with live service games. Not really doing so hot. Oh man, so what's going on, everybody? It's Al Pacino here, and we are going to be talking about Sony with their live services and the state of live services and things like that. So if you guys do like the content, be sure to drop a like and comment down below what you guys think of the article. All right, so let's see here. Sony Interactive CEO Herman Hulst. Those that don't know, wait, hold on, he's CEO, but they also said that he's CEO of PlayStation Studios as well. I don't know. There's another article about Herman Hulst that was talking about Sony or PlayStation Studios wanting to bring back legacy IPs, and I have a video on that that will be coming out fairly soon about that whole situation, and it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I expressed my opinions about it, my thoughts and my opinions, but it all depends on what everybody else thinks. So Herman Hulst doubled down on the company's goals to grow its live service segment, despite the failure of a number of live service games this year, including Sony's own Concord and Warner Brothers Multiverses and Suicide Squad Kill Justice League. So I heard about Suicide Squad Kill Justice League. It didn't do very well because there's just so much stuff that was happening. Harley Quinn is like, was it a boss babe girl that is sick and tired of her boyfriend who is the Joker? They made the Joker seem like they made the Joker not seem like the Joker. They made him seem weak. And then apparently Batman, Harley Quinn just shoots in the face or something like that, or just kills him. And it's just like, I heard that it's just like overall with the Arkhamverse, it was just like, it just destroyed the whole thing. And I was like, damn. Multiverses, this game, it seemed like it had potential because it was like, it's basically Super Smash Brothers, but with Warner Brothers characters. So you had like Shaggy, you had Bugs Bunny, things like that. And it was very interesting. So, but I think it lost to like, it just wasn't able to maintain, maintain its player base and everything. Like, how Smash Brothers is, because Smash Brothers is its own thing. Right. But like, there's so many other games that came out that pretty much Multiverses got left in the dust. That's what it seems like. But I could be wrong. Those that played Multiverses and stuff, let me know. All right. In an interview with the Japanese website, Famitsu, I could say that wrong. Hulst was asked, how do you evaluate the recent achievements of PlayStation Studios and its current structure? As part of his answer, Hulst stated, "We also continue to grow our live services segment, and Helldivers 2 has been a great success." Okay. In building a strong portfolio, the studio business group focuses on a rigorous selection of games that offer players a great experience. We're also focused on expanding our IP in new areas, such as the film version of Ghost of Tsushima, which is being produced by PlayStation Productions. I feel like one of these days, like when it comes to like PlayStation, because of how crazy everything is, they're gonna be like, for you to watch this PlayStation, this movie that's a PlayStation exclusive like movie or something like that, or Sony exclusive movie, or TV show, they're gonna be like, you're gonna need a PlayStation account. Even if you go to movie theaters, they're gonna be like, hey, you got a PlayStation account, you need to like show us so you can get in the movie theater. I feel like it's gonna be something stupid like that that's gonna happen, because they're gonna be hurting so bad for people wanting to have, they really want to up those PlayStation account numbers, things like that, because they're already forcing it upon PlayStation users, or not PlayStation, but PC users, which I think is still insane. And also region locking people. All right, so let's see here. Holston followed up specifically about Concord and Firewalk Studios, whether its failure affected its live service and mobile game strategies. On the other hand, Concord was discontinued in about 2 weeks, and the closure of 2 studios, Neon Koi and Firewalk Studios, was announced. As the Corona disaster settles down, I assume that the game business is undergoing rapid changes. Are there any changes in your strategy for live service games and mobile games as a result of those studios closures? So let's see what he responds with. He responded, "The game business is constantly changing due to a variety of factors, including technological advances, new genres, and new ways of playing games." Okay. One thing that is not changed, however, is people's desire for a great entertainment experience, and the focus on games continue to grow. Yeah. So here's the thing: if you have something that is so great, so amazing, why do you try so hard to change it? These technological advances, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do you need to change something so bad? Why do you need to reinvent the wheel so bad? Like, are you trying to get new players in? If that's the case, don't change the whole thing of your game, because the thing is, what's happening is that a lot of these games are losing identity. They're losing their identity. It's weird. Like, they're trying to push like identity and ideology, right? But the thing is, you're losing it in the process while trying to push it. It's like Rainbow Six. What is Rainbow Six? It's supposed to be a tactical shooter, also that was PvE, like co-op based, right? Because they had terrorist hunt. You killed terrorists. Well, guess what? They got rid of it. Now it's PvP. That's just only PvP, and that it is competitive. The identity is gone. It's lost. Helldivers 2 is still fun. It's like it's live service. It's kind of like a D&D base, because the person that is developing the game is the one that controls about what's going on between the automatons and the terminids, which are the bugs, right? Which was really cool and everything. But then PlayStation screwed it up and decided to region lock people and say, hey, it's required to have a PSN account. But then they walked that back, which was cool. But the downside is they still have it region locked, which I think is the dumbest thing ever. Some places I understand because of cultural differences and things like that. But it just seems like with other countries, out of the 177 countries, probably more than that, there's some countries that are probably just like, we don't have any cultural difference or anything, but since there's no PlayStation support in this country, we're shit out of luck, which I think is very messed up. All right. So he continued, let's see. Yeah. So he continued, but with that comes competition. And like many companies in the industry, we've had to make changes to our business in order to solidify a more suitable operating base. We will continue to focus on developing live service titles, along with story-driven and single-player titles that our players demand. Okay. But here's the thing. Are you going to actually listen to your large consumer base, or are you going to listen to a small fraction of them and try to appease them still and ignore everybody else and alienate them? Because then that's what's going to happen, is you're going to lose more money. Because people are not going to want to purchase the game, and then you're going to lay off more people, and then what is the excuse for that? Simple. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. He also said, we are learning that a lot of people, we're learning a lot as we build our ability to develop quality live service titles within Sony Interactive Entertainment. Helldivers 2 has proven the potential of live service titles by attracting a large number of players through continuous content delivery, stated. It did well, like I said, but then stuff happened. Now let me see. Let's look at Helldivers 2. Let's see. Helldivers 2, SteamDB, right? Let's look at that. I'm very curious. I'm just curious to look at this. So it's at a 74%. See charts. Now, what was it in a year ago? So this is when it was like, this is when it started. It blew up. And then when we got to, let's see, it was May. Around this part is when it ended. It's when it went down. A lot of complaints and everything, which, I mean, it is what it is. And then kept going. Player base was going down. Some tried to come up. It was going down. There's like probably, these are probably like updates and everything. This spike right here, that 150,000 players, was because they had, from Game Awards, they announced they had like a new enemy. And also you have cars and things like that. And on top of that, they were obviously trying to promote this. So, you know, you had like large streamers and creators doing ads and everything to try to get people to play this. And that's what it is. And it's just going to keep doing this. It's going to do the same thing. It's just going to go back down. Because after that, people are going to be like, oh, it's whatever. But again, they keep doing all these updates and everything. Totally fine. But they still have things that you cannot purchase, and you cannot activate them, which I think sucks. It's still stupid. Seeing all this stuff. It's horrible. Anyway. Furthermore, Hulse noted that Sony and PlayStation will continue its live service games across multiple platforms rather than making them exclusive. Okay, played Helldivers as Xbox. Put on Xbox. People have still wanted that. Hulse stated, since live service titles are released on multiple platforms, the key to success is now to attract new players and increase the number of players. Therefore, maintaining momentum at the time of release and broad player adoption are especially important in the live service sector. All right, let's see here. Single player games are a key component of the PlayStation platform's appeal, and each title has a strategic sales period. He explained, while consoles remain our core business, expanding to PC and other platforms will allow us to bring our games to a wider audience. Our priority is always to provide the best possible experience for our players, and as part of that, we are also promoting the integration of PSN accounts on PC, he concluded. And this is what pissed a lot of people off even more. If a PlayStation game is, because now this is what it is for PC players. If a PlayStation game is coming over to Steam, if it says this game is releasing on PlayStation and Steam only, then they're like, people are already going to think, I have to make a PSN account. Also, they get the region locks, you know, things like that. If you guys don't believe me, we saw with Helldivers 2. Look up God of War Ragnarok and also look at Ghost of Tsushima on Steam. Have the same thing. And then like as more games are coming over, it's the same stuff is happening. Let's see. PSN accounts on Steam, he concluded. Yeah, so Helldivers 2 was extraordinarily successful in the Arrowhead Game Studios and PlayStation. The game was listed in Steam's platinum bucket for top sellers in 2024. That means it was one of the top 12 selling games based on gross revenue for the entire year. Furthermore, the game was extraordinarily successful in the beginning of the year. It hit an all-time peak concurrent viewer of almost 500,000 players a couple weeks after it released in February. I remember because when the game came out, remember like in that spike, it came out where Arrowhead Game Studios tweeted out saying, hey, we can't, like a lot of people are going to be put into a queue because we don't have enough server space to put everybody in the game. There's more people just keep coming in. And then they finally did an update and add more servers, which was cool. So let's see here. However, after a number of controversies, the player base began to slowly taper off and then eventually hit a 24-hour low of 15,636 in September. However, with the release of the Omens of Tyranny later this month, a significant number of players returned, and it's had a recent 24-hour peak of 98,757. On the opposite end, as noted by Famitsu, Concord was shut down in less than 2 weeks, and then Sony announced that it was closing developer Firewalk Studios about a month later. The game only hit an all-time peak of just 697 when it released in the end of August. That was horrible. What do you think of Hulse's comments regarding investing in growing live service games despite Concord's failure? I think what it is to be honest, as many losses that happened with PlayStation, with Concord and all these other games, I think what's gonna happen is I think they're trying to invest in these legacy IPs and also like double down on these live services and push more on it, especially with like PSN accounts and things like that, because they don't want to end up like Ubisoft. They see what's happening with Ubisoft and they said, we can't be like that. We cannot be like Ubisoft. Yeah, like Japan, I'm gonna say this, Sony for like Japan, they're good. They're like, bro, we are good on consoles. Like we're hitting it well with consoles. Video game side, what the hell's going on, guys? What is going on? I don't think that Sony will be would get to a point where they shut down completely. I think what it is that their gaming side might die off. That might get shut down. That might get closed off. It might just be a Sony product, like entertainment product thing where it's like you got PlayStations, you got TVs, things like that. Who knows? Maybe consoles might even die if they don't have gaming, right? So that's something that I bet you they're looking into, and they're like, hey, we need to tighten this shit up. So, and the thing is, it's not PlayStation or Sony in Japan. It's Sony in America. That's the issue. That's where all these issues are coming from. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this whole thing? This is insane. That's it for me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the whole thing with Sony and PlayStation. I know there's gonna be like Sony fans who are like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it, but just, hey, it's your own opinion. You know, it's your own opinion by all means. But there's some concerns here, especially if they're gonna go through with these legacy IPs and these double down on live service. I just hope they don't put those two together. I don't want a remastered Legends of Dragoon be a live service and then they make all these changes because of like certain complaints, like I don't know, a character's dragoon armor that shows like breastplates or whatever, like it's too prominent, so they gotta like dial it down or some shit like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, I'd like to see this discussion. All right, Salve Channel. See you guys later. Peace.